It's much more power to come in and make these decisions if you have a 2-year budget process in place. On the pay-go piece, and I want to caveat this with the fact that I am an alum of the legislative analyst. I've been here before Prop 140 hit and did the fiscal estimate. But I'm very concerned about the power that you're now giving to the legislative analysts to make decisions on the $25 million threshold.
I think that the piece that was troubling to a lot of folks. I think that piece has been amended in some form. I don't know if you've seen the more recent version. It does send it. It's not as the original one kind of gave it all to them. I think it's now more coming to the fiscal committees.
We're happy to review that again. And
I want to relook at the newer version.
And we share a lot of comments that Gene Ross had made in terms of the pay-go provisions, and those are the concerns that we would have also. And that, as much respect of the work that we have at the Legislative Analyst's Office, it sounds almost like a House rule issue where do you want a second suspense calendar where you have a higher threshold? I've seen years with the chair in charge of the budget where you do try to have an amount available for new legislation. There is a process which you can have in place, and a lot of these pay-go provisions seems to tie more to things that you may want to explore before submitting it as a constitutional change to the electorate. With that, we'll be happy to participate and share some more. But those, we would only be supportive of the majority vote piece, but everything else beyond that we think is some kind of giveaway of the power that you currently have, and we don't think those are the right ways to go. Thank you.
That's an improvement over the rest of the public testimony.
Thank you. Actually, I'm sort of intrigued. Maybe Gene struck a note that people may need to think about that I've thought about before. I am always troubled by the size and breadth of our Constitution and why things need to be in the Constitution that could be done in a way that doesn't lock you into problems in the future. If we're testing some of these concepts, why not do them by statute, maybe even with sunsets, and say, let's try this and see if it works for 5 years or 10 years or something, and then not be hung up with it in the Constitution, and then you got to take it back to the voters, and it takes 2/3 vote. I mean, it just becomes, if for all that everybody's saying on a variety of these things, I mean, some must be constitutional. The 2/3 vote, some of those are absolutely constitutional. But a lot of the other things we're talking about might be worthy of our thought to do them statutorily and with sunsets, and then have reviews and say, did this work the way we wanted it to? And kind of, I don't know, we might want to think about some of those things. Ma'am, you are the last but not least, and hopefully everybody will still stay awake for you here. So,
well, I'll make it short and sweet. My name is Rebecca Turnbull. I'm with the Campaign for College Opportunity, and I'm just here to state that we are in support of the state budget reforms for SCA 19 and SB 844. That's it.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. Well, gosh, good for you. Shortest but last. We'd have known your statement was so short, we'd have made you first. All right. But thank you all, everybody, for your patience. Anybody else? Nobody wants to say anything else? Okay. We will be talking about this over the next couple of weeks, and then we will be back to see if we have some variations. So thank you all for being here, and this hearing is adjourned.